Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to do a quick poll, and I want absolute honesty within the audience. How many of you have a Esri certification? Please raise your hand. I want to raise them high up so that everybody in the room can see. How many of you has an Esri certification? Okay, I've been told that the lunch that is served in this organization is very, very good, and lunch will only be served to those who have raised their hands. Okay, honestly, I'm joking. Right, you know that I'm joking. But it also tells us how many people actually has a certification despite the amount of expertise that we have in this room. Right, genuinely, every person in this room represents something new, something real. Real projects, real decisions, real impact on our roads as demonstrated by LTA, our coastlines, MPA is also represented here, our public services, and the lives of every Singaporean in this room. You are the people who know that GIS is not just about pretty maps. You know it is about decisions, about evidence, about getting things right. But right now, your expertise only lies in your head, your team, or your track record. If I didn't ask you to raise your hands, nobody will know that there are certified professionals within our midst. Don't get me wrong, it is powerful. Your expertise is powerful, but it's invisible to anyone who does not already know you. And that's where we are proposing Esri certification to close that gap, to give you the expertise a name, a credential, a stamp that travels with you to any agency, because I know that some of you actually move within agencies, and any project briefings that you are part of, because you will form the A team. So in line with today's event, as what Joe has mentioned, empowering a resilient and future-ready community, I'm here to urge you all to consider certification as a strategic professional asset. Right, imagine a situation where you need to rewire your whole house, regardless of HDB or landed property. You know that it's a very, very big project, right? And you have an electrician who is highly recommended by a lot of friends and colleagues telling you that this electrician is very good. He has more than 15 years of experience, steady, right? But then he costs a lot. He costs 1.5 times more than the previous person that you asked, and he's probably going to take a little bit longer than the other person, and you need the job to be done quickly. Then he passes you this card. It says, licensed electrician, certified by the Energy Market Authority. That sets your nerves because you know that you are in good hands. Somebody who knows what he is going to be doing, and he is not going to electrocute anybody in your house anytime soon. The work will last forever, but it is still expensive. But the fella will not cut corners. He will not bring in cheap wirings for your water heater, which is very, very important. He will make sure that every electrical appliances is charged properly, and it will last a long, long time. And that's exactly what the left panel is about, validation of expertise. Your years of practice becomes legible, verified, standardized, and trusted by people who have never worked with you before. You are worth your salt. And then on the right panel, global currency. This matters especially when you're presenting to senior leadership, collaborating across agencies, or working on projects where your counterparts feel that you are part of the A team. And honestly, when you have credentials from Esri in terms of certifications listed on your LinkedIn, the right people will find you. I just want to share, I've been in this organization for 11 months. Okay, I was actually approached by a HR director from an oil and gas company. And it's not a scam, because I actually found out that company is for real. And the HR director actually sent me the JD. Sorry, Joe. Because the JD was beyond what I can actually do. Can you imagine this HR director is that desperate to look for an 11-month GIS noob? But a certification is a shared language. Going back to you, it signals true expertise, and in the public sector, where every decision needs to be defensible, as what our VIP shared just now when he was going through LTA, the third-party validation carries real weight. So whether you want to strengthen your career, make a case for your team's credibility, or simply get the recognition that you already deserve, certification is your vehicle. So how does the certification system actually work? For those who have gotten their certification, you know how it works, right? But for people like me, where I'm new, we start from the foundation. And foundation is for newer colleagues, fresh graduates joining teams where they build fundamental spatial and data, basic analysis, creating sharing maps properly. So these are the people who just discovered that Google Maps is not the de facto GIS tool. Right? And they're very excited, they want to know more about it, and they will lap it up, all the information that is being trained during the classes. Next, we go to associate, people who have more than 2 to 4 years of experience, people like you, definitely, a lot of you actually belongs to that group. And this is for practitioners who run complex analysis, manage enterprise systems, and generally the people, their agencies depend on getting things done. So I'm going to go to the last one, which is the professional. The architect. This is for your senior leads, your technical gurus, the people who design the systems, set the governance, and shape how your entire agency thinks about geospatial data. The key point is you do not have to start from the bottom. Many of you do not have to start from the bottom. You can go to associate straight away, or even professional. The pathway finds where you are in terms of your expertise. Now, I suspect some of you will be thinking, that all sounds very good, right? But I have a full-time job, a team to run, and I have no time for exams because I haven't sat for one since I don't know when, right? I fully understand you, and Joe also understands you. That's why we are building out this 3-pillar to help you, 3 pillars, so that we can help you in moving closer to your goal to a certification. The first pillar is definitely the learning paths. So we are working to get each certification identified exactly to what are the courses that is necessary for exam critical courses. So what matters is you go for it. What you can safely skip, we'll just take it out. Think of it as having a good kaki who has already set the exam and tells you straight, study this, not that. By the way, the previous presenter, Liang, he has gotten almost all the certification under the umbrella of Esri. So you know that you are in safe hands. So, right, we want to train you the way that you know how to answer the questions so that you don't get caught off guard. And we don't want you to be just exam smart, but also to build out and handle the situations in the real world. And that's where the second part comes in, the applied practice, where real hands-on projects, mock exams that mirror the actual challenges you face in your agencies and scenarios, so that when you walk into the exam, passing it, you come out not just with a paper, but also real-world expertise to showcase your talent to the agencies, to your team, and even to yourself. The last one I believe is the most important, especially for young GIS experts like myself, right? Where you have direct access to mentors, many of you are, geospatial specialists who have been through this process themselves, and some of you are probably already solving each other's GIS problems over drinks. We just want to formalize this support system, and these 3 pillars are designed to compress your time to certification to get you across the line without it consuming your life outside work. So this is a sample. Of what it looks like, assuming that we take ArcGIS Pro Associate Certification, which many of you, as I mentioned, honestly should be taking. And what it looks like is there are 5 steps. The first one is to make sure that we go through an evaluation. Before anything else, we do a skills gap analysis, a proper structured one to understand where you already are and precisely where the gaps are. So no point training you things that you do not need to know. That helps us to build the prerequisites, the foundational courses. In this case, there are 3 courses, as you can see on the screen. These are the prerequisites, and if you know the material really well, then we can move through it quickly. If there are gaps, we plug them. That's where the evaluation will help us decide. Next would be the electives. We will pare down the content within these electives to make sure that you don't do a broad-based learning, but very, very focused so that the proportion that you learn is tested in the examination. And this one is really what sets our certification pathway apart, which is the workshop. A focused one-day intensive session right before the exam. By the way, you have to take the exam yourself, right? But we will drill through concepts, reinforcing it, hands-on examination practice, and a targeted revision that actually sticks. And finally, step 5 is when you sit for the examination, 75 questions, 90 minutes, and hopefully you come out as an ArcGIS Pro certified practitioner. Now, this pathway from evaluation to exam runs roughly about 11 to 12 training days, but the pathway is highly customizable, as what I mentioned, for your agency and for your roles. Right, so if you find that you want your agency to have a bespoke program just for yourself because you want to make sure that the data is used for your agency, we can do that as well. But bearing in mind, when we do all this, you actually form a cohort, and that's where the community spirit comes in. You help each other to pass the examination. So it is very achievable without disrupting your work or your team. Some of you may still think, well, it's a lot of days, 10 to 11 days, 12 days out of my work is a lot. But if you have been doing on-the-job training using GIS for the last 10 years, what's 11 days? It's a very good deal to just use those days to get a certification. Okay, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Okay, sorry. I'm just going to say that I stand between you and lunch because after this, we go for lunch. But let me leave you with just one last thing. You did not walk into this room as beginners. You walked in as professionals who have spent years building the geospatial systems that you have demonstrated on stage just now, that keep Singapore running with our platform, which we are very proud of in partnering you in. And the many years of handing out awards by Esri Singapore to the multiple organizations at this event is a testament to that. What certification does is that it makes this expertise undeniable, and in the spirit of the Year of the Horse, bo bei zao. It puts a name to what you already know, gives it credibility, and travels beyond your organization, beyond Singapore even. And it opens the next chapter for you, whether that means a promotion, a new project, a leadership role, or simply quiet satisfaction of something that says officially, and for the record, I know what I am doing. Maybe all this may still cause you to think next time, I'm very, very busy. I'm very busy this year. I will probably wait for next year. Let's also not kid ourselves because next year we'll still be busy. So it's a choice of whether you want to be busy and certified or busy. That's your choice. So I hope that your next step starts today. Scan the QR code if you want to be contacted for more information and updates. And please feel free to speak to any of us from the Esri Singapore team after this session because we would love to be part of your journey in empowering you to be resilient and future-ready community. Thank you very much.